let's talk about Latin representation. Like, this is an exciting time for you guys, but we often talk about diversity in front of the camera, right? But how much of that Latin representation were you able to see behind the scenes when filming?
The Latin representation behind the scenes on our show, Baker and the Beauty, was so obvious and predominant because we were shooting in Puerto Rico. So like our crew was Latin, we spoke in Spanish all the time with them. We had sort of like a great camaraderie with our Latin counterparts. So I think it was great to shoot the show in Puerto Rico because of that very reason.
And you could tell the show was really resonating with them. Like, you know, sometimes on a show you're just like watching and you're doing a job, and sometimes you really connect with the characters in the world. And, you know, there are scenes where we're dancing salsa and eating our food and listening to music, and you could tell it was like the energy was reverberating throughout the cast and crew. You know, when they're getting up and they're dancing with us, you know you're doing something right and you're creating a really special energy.
And there's nothing like that on TV. That's why I think people are really going to connect with our show.
We were very, very, very lucky because 98% of our cast is Latino and 99% of our crew was Latino shooting in Puerto Rico. The beauty of that was that we would come to set to one huge entire family of support and of love and just the feeling that we were safe to play and to create because we knew that we all as Latins, we had an opportunity on national television to bring this family to light in a beautiful, positive way.
Yeah, we feel like we're part of something very special. Very special, and we're grateful for great writing, grateful for ABC and NBC Universal that they decided to take the plunge with us, and I really feel like we have something that's special in this show.
I think this year, for some reason, you know, we had two of the most unbelievable Latina artists opening the Super Bowl this year, Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. Later on this year, we have the movie In the Heights. That's going to be another blockbuster, thanks for Latino. West Side Story. And us. I think this could be our year to at least make an impact of a sort, to put us on that map, to from here continue to write great stories and represent us in the way that we should be represented.
I gotta direct this question to you, Victor. Okay, I noticed in the I'm not leaving you out yet. Hold on.
That's the correct one. I'm like,
He's the beauty, but he's the baker.
All right, Mr. Baker. So in the trailer, right? We see you get proposed to by your ex, right? And I want to discuss the marital trend that's happening. It's a topic that's of discussion where women are kind of taking the lead and getting on one knee and proposing to the man. I want to know actually both of you guys' perspective on that, and if you would be okay with proposing to a man, or if you would be okay with having a woman propose to you.
I'm married now, and my wife, knowing my wife, I think she would have absolutely proposed to me if I hadn't beaten her to the punch. I think it's great. I think it's mostly tradition, which I think needs to be like completely eradicated. I don't think there's a right way to do it. And so, to answer your question, I think it's completely fine if a woman proposes to a man or a man proposes to a woman. I think that's just all tradition on why we think that a man should propose to a woman. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think the model of anyone asking anyone is outdated. This is a partnership, and two people should decide if they want to spend the rest of their lives together. So I'd like to see a rise in not more women proposing to men, but two people deciding they want to get married at the same time.
Concur.
That sounds like very reasonable. Yeah, I think it's time to rethink outdated models.
Definitely. I would 100% do that in real life. And actually, before getting this audition, I would tease my boyfriend a lot about proposing to him first. And he's like very traditional in the sense that he's like, no, please leave that to me. And I'm like, no, I'm going to fuck things up and do it myself. But I think it's really cool that Vanessa is empowered enough to do that. She does it in such a beautiful, sweet, heartfelt way, too, and she has no idea that it's kind of, like, crazy. She's just doing it from the heart, and I think that says a lot about her and how she leads most of her life. Everything she does comes from love and seeing the best in people and wanting the best for people as well as herself. So I think it's awesome.
And what about you guys? Did you propose? Did you ever propose?
I don't know if I'd have the guts to do it. Yeah. The proposal scene is my favorite scene. Oh my gosh, I can laugh and rewatch that so many times, and I have. It's my favorite scene. I'm so excited for everyone to see that. And just off of what she was saying, I totally commend it. Like, I think everyone should propose whenever they want, but yeah, I don't know if I would have the guts to do it.
So I'm married, and I definitely do believe that everyone, should propose. Everyone, male, female. I'm just glad I did.
You're glad it was you.
Well, I also think it's just like it's as much of a fantasy and a want. It was for me when I proposed to my wife, where I was just like, this is something that I really want to not only give her, but most important, give myself.
You know what? I'm definitely an old-fashioned traditional girl, but I believe in love. Yeah. I don't care how you want to interpret it. I don't care how you want to approach it in the sense of whether it's male, female, or right or wrong. I don't believe in that. I believe in love, and I feel like sometimes, if a guy can be shy, he can be uncertain, and a girl, especially if you're a girl who takes charge, like, you know what? I'm going to do this. Do you want to marry me or not? It's like, go for it. Yeah. I mean, it works both ways. I do love a gentleman. I love a guy who opens the door. Carlos is such a gentleman. But I think, love is love. And so if you feel that in your heart, I'm all about, like, what's your version of love and proposal? And just go for that. Because I feel like sometimes a guy could, if I was a guy, I'd be so flattered if a girl proposed to me. Yeah.
Me, not so much. No, what the beauty, I think, for this character is that he's opening up to his kids, and he sees his world changing. And I think the writer, what he's created with my character, is the struggle that he has being in the old school and kind of adapting to this new generation, this new world that as a Latino macho man, I have to be compassionate about, and the lessons that I learn from these things that are happening within my family. I think that to represent that as a father and as a Latin father on national TV is a gift, and I hope the show goes a while so you can see where these things go to.
And let's talk about, like, the family dynamic. Obviously, when you guys walked into the junket, everybody was looking over by the carpet to see how just kind of, like, well meshed together you guys are. I think that's amazing. How is that chemistry on set?
Just as disruptive.
Yeah, just as disruptive.
It was just as disruptive.
We always get people telling us to quiet it down because
Yeah, we wrapped about 6 weeks later than we were supposed to. I think that's
We've really gotten a lot of time together.
Yeah.
We've been together on this project for almost a year now. But it was immediate. It's just one of those things that worked out perfectly, and great casting. But yeah, you want to talk about it?
Listen, it was truly a family dynamic. We were a family, we really were committed to everything that was going on set, and most importantly off set. We were really open with each other to let each other in our lives, and we know everyone's quirks and what makes them laugh and what gets them annoyed, like a real family. And that was really and it wasn't important for the fact that it was a tactic. It was just important because it was just there. It was just real, and that was one of those things that I'll always cherish.
You guys are playing like Cuban immigrants, like a Cuban immigrant couple, and to show that love story on screen, how important is that considering how immigrants are currently being treated in this country?
I think that's so important because I really feel like, Latinos are constantly portrayed in the wrong light on so many levels, and it's infuriating and it's wrong. And I'm sorry, but I kind of feel like our country was built on immigrants. You have immigrants cleaning your homes, taking care of your children, running your doctor's offices, being doctors, lawyers. Like, you have all levels of Latinos, whether you're immigrant or not. I grew up in this country. I was born and raised in New York City, but I come from people who came from somewhere else. So for me, there's a level of respect that needs to be had, and I really feel like our show just shows a Latino family. It's a family. We just happen to be Latino. Being a family. There's nobody that can't relate to our family, and that's the beauty of it, is that we're all the same. We all want the same thing. We all want love. We all want to protect, and we all want compassion and generosity and all those things. So that definitely is how our show sets itself apart. We're not trying to make a point of anything, so to speak, but we are a great representation of what a real Latino family looks like.
Yeah, for me, it's important because I am Cuban. I wasn't born in Cuba, but I was raised in Miami, where this show takes place. And I saw my parents come to this country and work very, very, very hard to give me the blessings that I have today.
Yeah.
And I think that represents what we are as a family. You know, we're hardworking. We want to give our kids everything that we can. And for me, I want my kids to stay in the business, and I don't want my kids to take over what I brought to them, but they have their own dreams. They have their own things. And I think for my character, those struggles and learning from those struggles, that the audience can see us as a Latin family, how what we got to go through, like any family, I think it's really important and a gift that we're going to give the audience.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you. Great question.
Thank you.